This will be Erin O'Reilly riding Willoughby, foundation level test 1. A. Enter at the working walk. Proceed down center line to X without halting. X to H, continue working walk along diagonal. H to C, continue in working walk. After C, turn right on quarter line. B to F, leg yield left to the rail between B and F. B and F. Between B and F, circle right 20 meters. Continue working walk to K. KXM, change rein, lengthening the horse's stride and allowing the horse to stretch forward and down. M to C, working walk. Pass C and turn left on the quarter line. E to K, leg yield right to the rail between E and K. Between E and K, circle left 20 meters. Then continue working walk to A. A through C, 3-loop serpentine. HXF, change rein, lengthening the horse's stride, allowing the horse to stretch forward and downward. F to K, working walk. K to X, proceed along diagonal to X and turn down center line. X to G, between X and G, halt, salute. Dismount, stand quietly for a moment. You may reward your horse, take the reins over the horse's head, run up the stirrups, and leave the arena, leaving the horse at its shoulder. Once again, we want to thank Erin for being a good sport and taping these for us. Now, she did this again the next week after we did it the last time to see if she could improve on the score. So her issues last time were just a little bit inconsistency in the speed and frame throughout the test. But that's much improved in this one. So really nice and straight down the center line there. Good activity in the walk. Nice and steady, horse is relaxed. We see once in a while she has to put her leg on there a little bit to keep him in the steady walk, but it's really quite good. Good working walk here. So very nice through that entrance. Good beginning in the leg yield. Could have a little more step over, but he tries to shorten a little bit, but she asks him a little more. Doesn't lose the shoulder so badly this time, so that was a much better rhythm. Much improved in that. See him kind of lift up and speed up for a second. Those little losses of rhythm. So he kind of wants to flatten a little bit. But he responds quite quickly to her when she puts her legs on. But those little changes in rhythm are what cost the points a little bit. So he wants to lift up just a little bit. But the walk stays good in 4-beat. He could have a little more flexion in his hocks as he walks, and we'll ultimately see more lift through the back so the walk becomes a little steadier. But this is quite good for this level. So at these, we're really quite improved over the first time. Good stretch. This is really quite nice. He stretches down a little deeper today, and we see how the walk lengthens. That was really quite a good stretch there in the walk. Pretty much what we're looking for. Maybe he could have stretched a little bit deeper, but that was really quite nicely. And she comes back up into the walk, most importantly, though he was a little late there coming back. You should be back in the working walk by the time you get to that letter and you're going to the corner. But really nicely back without any resistance. Here it's again, it's a little bit hesitant to start this leg yield. But once he gets going, it's not too bad. The shoulders popped out a little bit and lost a little bit of rhythm there, but better than we saw a week or so ago. Good, steady working walk. So again, look how nice and rhythmic the walk is. It's a good, steady 4-beat. But once in a while, we see she has to put her leg on a little bit just to activate the back end a little bit. But it never has anything that's too abrupt, never really changes speed. Nicely through the corner there after that. As she starts to start the serpentine here. Lifts up just a little bit, but not bad. Starts to come a little bit off the bridle, but she settles him right back into it. While a little loss of rhythm, but the changes of bend are performed nicely without any real change of rhythm, out coming off the bridle too much or losing the bend when she changes, though the figure itself could have been a little more even between the two sides. Remember, your second circle should come up at the letter in the middle of the arena, and you were a little short of that. Not quite as good as the first stretch, wasn't quite as active as it went down. We didn't see quite as much lengthening. But not bad, gets a little deeper as she gets there. Once again, a little late coming back up into the frame. We'd like to see the horse back in the working walk by the time you're making that corner down there. But good working walk throughout here. A little bit slower than it was before, which is what makes the difference between whether this horse is getting 8s or 9s or whether it's getting 6s or 7s. Good working walk again here on this diagonal. I like how it's nice and steady, lifting up. Really nice relaxation in this. And really nice and straight on the center line here. Started to have a good halt. Unfortunately, he moves off a little bit when she tries to step, which is a little bit of a reduction. But he stays nicely relaxed once he does settle there and does a great job leaving the arena. Great job. Now we'll go through again and now we'll score this. This will be Erin O'Reilly riding Willoughby, foundation level test 1. A, enter at the working walk, proceed down center line to X without halting. X to H, continue working walk along diagonal. 8 on the entrance. H to C, continue in working walk. After C, turn right on quarter line. B to F, leg yield left to the rail between B and F. 8 on that last working walk. B and F. Between B and F, circle right 20 meters. Continue working walk to K. 6 on the leg yield. Good circle. Once in a while, a little KXM, change rein, 7, lengthening the horse's stride and allowing the horse to stretch forward and down. M to C, working walk. Pass C and turn left on the quarter line. Good lengthening here in the stretch, 8. Good steady working walk and bend on the turn. E to K, leg yield right to the rail between E and K. Between E and K, circle left 20 meters. Then continue working walk to A. A little loss of rhythm there and a little late start, 6. A through C, 3-loop serpentine. Good bend in the circle. A little loss of rhythm at times. 6. Mostly steady rhythm in that, and working over the back,
change
but
rein, lengthening the horse's
lost the
stride,
geography
allowing
a
the
little
horse to
bit. That
stroke
is in the
forward and
directional
downward.
control. 5. F to K, working walk. Stretch could have been a little deeper, a little sooner, with a little more lengthening of stride as the previous one. 6. K to X, proceed along diagonal to X and turn down center line. Good working walk, F to K. 8. X to G, between
Very
X
steady
and G,
in the
halt,
turn and
salute.
on the
Diagonal. 8. Straight on center line, but horse moves in
Stand
the
quietly
halt.
for a moment. You may
6.
reward your horse. Take the reins over the horse's head, run up the stirrups, and leave the arena, leaving the horse at its shoulder.
Good relaxation in the horse. Well presented. 8. Now we'll go over her collective marks. Horse's correct level of physical development for the level entered. 7. Really was very good. This horse was getting very consistent in all of its marks. A little marred once in a while by a little change of rhythm, but really very good. Really getting there. Now there's still some room to improve in that impulsion and that steadiness, and that will bring these steps into the 8s and 9 marks. Harmony between horse and rider, I thought that was very good. We never saw any arguments. She put her leg on. He responded nicely without overreacting in the stage work. She keeps herself in a really good position. So very nice there. I'm going to say 8. Rider's correct level of physical development for the level entered. 8. She's very well. Notice how I'm always looking at those outside legs. If the person has enough control. That's one of the biggest weak areas in most people is they don't know how to use their outside legs. So that was really very good. 8 on that. And for artistic impression, once again, the artistic impression is so affected by how we can watch it and enjoy it without watching too many errors. So there's still a little bit of hesitancy once in a while that we see in this horse. That is, once in a while she puts her leg on and then we see a big, not a big jump, but we see that impulsion move through. And he does respond, which is a very good thing. So there's still some ways to go in this horse getting to that point where every step just looks perfectly cadenced. That's what cadence means, is that accentuation of rhythm, where it just becomes mesmerizing because the rhythm is so perfect. That's just like music. If rhythm doesn't have good time, we're very distracted by it. We don't enter into it. It's rhythm, even in the most primitive type of music, which are basically rhythm, beating on drums and things like this. It's all about the rhythm, being able to lock into the rhythm. That's the same thing here. So the artistic impression, as well, of course, is the beauty of the horse itself, the appropriateness of the size of the rider for the horse. These kinds of things add into it, but it's more about how the horse performs. We can forgive a lot of things if the horse is performing fabulously, which should always be our highest criteria. But anyway, she was very good in that. So artistic impression, I'm going to give her a 7 on that. There's still some room to grow, but it's going up all the time. Great job, Erin, and thank you so much for doing all this. In a moment, I'll have the score. Congratulations to Erin. She is our very first score above 70%. She would have scored a 70.90 on this ride. So just a few things had improved, and that's pushing it up into 70s. We still have some room to go with this one. I'm hoping she's going to continue to do this once a week with this horse. Erin only rides this horse once a week, so she's going to go once a week and score it. And so we'll see if we can keep pushing these scores. My goal is to show everybody what a 70% ride is at each one of these levels. So I'll have her continue to do this until her score pushes up, which is a way of thinking about these tests as well. As I designed these tests as a test of our skills, and just as if we were training, I train in the exact same way I ride, that these tests are laid out, if you will, in many ways. So it's a great way of seeing your own progress by riding through these tests and seeing how you can improve, especially now that you get the opportunity to see someone like Erin begin to ride them and see how the little things that make all the difference in the world. So once again, thanks to Erin and all my associate trainers and everybody else. I'm looking forward to more people sending in their videos. Remind everybody that anybody who would like to can send one in now to be a sample test, and we really appreciate it. Help us grow the sport. So thanks again to Erin. And congratulations, 70.90.